Hello everyone, in this video we will discuss Introduction to the Songs of Innocence by William Blake. William Blake's Introduction to the Songs of Innocence serves as the opening poem to his collection Songs of Innocence, setting the tone for the themes of purity, joy, and a pastoral, idealized vision of childhood that characterized the series. This poem beautifully encapsulates the innocence and simplicity of the child's perspective that Blake champions throughout the collection. Stanza 1. Piping down the valleys wild, piping songs of pleasant glee. On a cloud I saw a child, and he, laughing, said to me. Analysis. The poem begins with the speaker, a piper, joyfully playing music in a natural setting, suggesting freedom and harmony with nature. The encounter with a child on a cloud introduces a mystical or divine element, with the child's laughter indicating a sense of delight and approval of the piper's music. This sets a whimsical, joyful tone. Stanza 2. Pipe a song about a lamb. So I piped with merry cheer. Pipe, pipe that song again. So I piped, he wept to hear. Analysis. The child requests a song about a lamb, a symbol of innocence and gentleness. The piper's cheerful compliance and the child's emotional reaction, weeping, to the song underscore the deep emotional and spiritual resonance of the theme of innocence. The child's weeping also suggests a profound appreciation of the lamb's symbolic purity. Stanza 3. Drop thy pipe, thy happy pipe. Sing thy songs of happy cheer. So I sung the same again, while he wept with joy to hear. Analysis. Encouraged to continue, but now through singing rather than piping, the piper deepens the expression of joy. The transition from playing an instrument to singing might symbolize a more direct, heartfelt, and personal form of expression. The repetition of the child weeping with joy emphasizes the deep emotional impact of the piper's art. Stanza 4. Piper, sit thee down and write in a book that all may read. So he vanished from my sight, and I plugged a hollow reed. Analysis. The child instructs the piper to write his songs down, expanding the audience from just the child to all who may read. This suggests a shift from ephemeral performance to lasting record, from personal experience to shared cultural artifact. The child's disappearance after giving this directive highlights the mystical or visionary nature of this encounter. Stanza 5. And I made a rural pen, and I stained the water clear, and I wrote my happy songs. Every child may joy to hear. Analysis. The piper follows the child's instructions, creating a pen from a reed, a natural tool, and using it to write his songs. The act of staining the water clear could symbolize the purity and clarity that the piper brings to his new task of writing. His intention is that his happy songs bring joy to all children, suggesting a universal message of innocence and happiness. Critical analysis. Themes and philosophical undertones. Innocence and purity. Central to the poem is the celebration of innocence, represented through the pastoral imagery of the piper and his interactions with the child. Blake uses the innocence of childhood as a lens through which to view the world, suggesting a state of purity and joy untainted by the complexities and corruption of adult experience, inspiration, and creativity. The poem explores the nature of artistic creation, beginning with spontaneous musical expression and evolving into a directed act of writing down the songs. The child's command to write so that all may read elevates the act from personal expression to a communal sharing of visionary truth, highlighting the role of the artist in society as a conveyor of universal values and joys. Divine and mystical guidance. The appearance and guidance of the child who emerges on a cloud and vanishes just as suddenly imbue the poem with a sense of divine inspiration. This mystical element suggests that true art is not merely a human endeavor but is inspired by higher spiritual forces which guide the artist in communicating sacred truths. Imagery and symbolism. The piper. Symbolizing the poet or artist, the piper's transformation from a musician playing freely in nature to a scribe writing for a wider audience illustrates the evolution of artistic expression from personal joy to societal contribution. The child. Often interpreted as a Christ-like figure, the child embodies divine innocence and purity. His instructions to the piper symbolize the divine inspiration that poets and artists receive, guiding them to share their visions with the wider world. The lamb. Mentioned in the child's request for a song, the lamb is a potent symbol of innocence and gentleness in Christian symbolism, often associated with Jesus Christ himself. This further aligns the poem's imagery with themes of sacrifice, purity, and redemption. Structure and form. The poem is structured in simple rhymed couplets, enhancing its lyrical quality and making it accessible, much like children's verse. This simplicity belies the depth of its philosophical and theological implications, creating a juxtaposition between the form and the content that mirrors the poem's thematic exploration of innocence and profundity. Comparison with other poems. Ode, Intimations of Immortality from Recollections of Early Childhood by William Wordsworth. Similarities. Both poems delve into themes of innocence and the transcendent nature of childhood. Wordsworth, like Blake, reflects the purity and clarity of vision that children possess, which adults seem to lose over time. Each poet suggests a spiritual or divine dimension of this innocence, viewing children as closer to the sublime truths of existence. Differences. Wordsworth's ode is more elegiac and nostalgic, lamenting the loss of childhood innocence as one grows older, whereas Blake's introduction is celebratory, focusing on the joy and purity of the child's state and its inspirational qualities. Wordsworth employs a more complex structure and a meditative, philosophical tone to explore these ideas, while Blake uses simpler, more lyrical verse to convey a sense of immediacy and clarity. The Chimney Sweeper from Songs of Innocence by William Blake. Similarity. Both poems are by Blake and appear in the same collection, sharing thematic concerns about the innocence and experiences of children under challenging circumstances. Blake employs similar stylistic features, using simple and direct language to deliver profound messages about society and human nature. Differences. The Chimney Sweeper addresses the darker aspects of child labor and societal exploitation. offering a more pointed critique of social injustice than the universally positive tone of Introduction to the Songs of Innocence. The emotional range in The Chimney Sweeper includes elements of sorrow and critique, contrasting with the pure celebration of innocence and divine inspiration in the introduction. The Schoolboy by William Blake. Similarities. Both poems celebrate the natural joy and freedom associated with childhood and criticize the constraints placed on children by adult society. Blake uses pastoral imagery and references to nature in both poems, the inherent goodness and happiness of the natural state of childhood. Differences. The Schoolboy specifically criticizes the formal education system, which Blake views as stifling the joyful, natural learning process experienced by children in nature. In contrast, the introduction is more focused on capturing the essence of innocence and the poet's role in expressing this through art. The Schoolboy includes a sense of lament for the loss of freedom experienced by school children, whereas the introduction is more optimistic, focusing on the positive aspects of innocence and the poetic celebration of this state. So this was the discussion on the poem Introduction to the Songs of Innocence by William Blake. We will meet in the next video and discuss some other poem. Until then, goodbye and thank you.